Hello everyone, welcome to the editorial analysis of the Shankar IAS Academy, and today's video is for the date of 19th of April 2025. So before moving into the topics to be discussed, there's just a small announcement to be made. The UPSC All India Mock Test Series has been conducted for these dates on 4th of May and 11th of May and 18th of May. So interested students can apply to this mock test series to boost up your UPSC prelims practice. Now looking into the topics for discussion, these are the two articles selected. The first article titled India's Journey of Heritage Preservation from the PIB discusses about the importance of the World Heritage Sites along with the UNESCO and importance of their legacy. And this article is from the PIB. And next article, the De-extinction from the Hindu, discusses about the revivalism of the extinct species, which is the dire wolf. So the second article here, India's Journey of Heritage Preservation, were posted in regarding of the World Heritage Day, which is celebrated on April 18th. So without any much delay, let's get into the articles discussion one by one. So this is an interesting article called De-extinction. So here title is the once extinct direwolf are back. So why it is in the news? Because the Colossal Biosciences of the US claim that they have brought in or resurrected the direwolf genetics. So this topic comes in the syllabus of GS paper 1 flora and fauna changes, and for GS paper 3 conservation and science and technology. So what is the news about? It talks about the de-extinction, otherwise known as resurrection biology or species revivalism, such as revivalism of those species which have went extinct for a very long period of time. So here it is a biotechnology based, where there is revival of those extinct species. So scientists have found that almost 99.9% of the species present in the earth are gone extinct by now. So this is known as de-extinction. So the key techniques involved is, first is genetic reconstruction, where there is modification of the construction of the DNA or the genes, where there is editing using technology such as the CRISPR, such as cloning and such as backbreeding, where it is known as bringing back the traits of those extinct species who are closely related to other species. So bringing back the traits of those extinct species by having gene editing or gene reconstructing of a close relative of those extinct species. So these are the key techniques involved. Now looking into their genome construction, they contain 2.447 billion base pairs. So these 2.447 billion are placed in the DNA positions along with the nucleotides. So nucleotides are organic molecules which are the building blocks of the DNA and RNA. So the nucleotides have four types, subtypes of nucleotides. So with the basis of those four nucleotides and their positioning only, a genetic can be formed, a genetic reconstruction can be formed. So here they have found that 99.94% are have percentage of those pairs are having similarity with the grey wolf, which is the closest relative. So here in 2.447 billion base pairs, almost 2.445 billion base pairs are similar to this close relative, which is the grey wolf, and due to the four subtypes of the nucleotides. So here the gene edited grey wolves are implanted in the dog surrogates, as they are part of the large canines. And for example, you can take human and chimpanzee, where there is a similar genome almost to 98%, but both the species are very different. So this is the taxonomy of the dire wolf. Looking into the advantages of de-extinction, first is the ecosystem restoration. Because of the downfall of the prey species of such extinct species, they would have gone out of the ecosystem. So by bringing those species, we can bring in those ecosystems back. And having environmental balance by having sustainability and having the biodiversity of that particular species, and having biodiversity boost and in increasing of the scientific research such as knowing about evolution and so on, and bringing in the idea of ethical responsibility. So many scientists argue that because of the anthropogenic activities of human, there were extinction of many species. So it is the moral obligation of those humans to bring back those species and the biodiversity. So here, for example, we can take woolly mammoth, which was one of the extinct species, which is a close relative of the elephants, where they were part of the lush grasslands in the tundra region or the Arctic region. So here we can take revival of the Arctic grasslands, where these mammoths were part of the grasslands, but due to the climate change, it had those grasslands has changed to shredded and very very cold sheets of ice. So here, by for example, by bringing in the de-extinction of those mammoth can have the revival of the Arctic grasslands, as the grass versus the shrub. Grasses have a lower heat absorption, and we can bring in methane reduction as due to the climate, as the temperature rises. Right now, the permafrost has been melting, and we can bring uh, methane production, and there is risk of diseases being spreading due to the permafrost. So here, by revival of those species, we can bring in the revival of those grasslands, and permafrost preservation can be done, and we can bring in methane reduction, and there is climate control. So this is one of the possibilities of having de-extinction as an example. But we should also see the challenges and concerns. Look, for example, ecological risk. There is potential ecosystem disruption, which is the current biodiversity present. Then there is ecological niche competition, where resource rivalry will be happening with the native species, and having unsuitable modern environment for the resurrected species. And sometimes, and we can understand that it is not a true de-extinction. They are genetically similar, but they are not the exact species, and they are not identical in nature. At least 0.1 percentage would be very very different. Next is having biological risks, that can be disease vulnerability and ancient microbes present in those extinct species. Having conservational impact can divert focus from conserving the existing species, and having ethical issues such as it intervenes with the nature of order, that and interfering with the nature in itself. So this is the article. It's a very interesting article. So this is the main question. De-extinction presents a futuristic blend of science and conservation, but it also raises critical ecological and ethical concerns. So here, you can give your way ahead or what lies after it, as or a way forward for this answer. So I ask the students to put in their answer in the comment section. Now, this is the news, India's journey of heritage preservation. So, why it is in the news? Because April 18th has been marked as the World Heritage Day of India, and it celebrates our cultural and our natural heritage legacy. So, this article is from the PIB. It's a very interesting article. You can go and check the article, and this comes in the syllabus for GS paper 1 under Indian heritage and culture, and generally for prelims it comes under history. So first, what is World Heritage Convention? So World Heritage Convention, it formally known as Convention Concerning the Protection of World Culture and Natural Heritage, has been officially taken by the UNESCO Convention 1972. So here we all know UNESCO means United Nations Educational, Scientific, Cultural Organization, where it is a special agency of the UN, where they protect and come together for the peace, security, and fostering of culture, education, and other scientific inventions. So the UNESCO has been together with the World Heritage Convention, and their aim is to identify, protect, and preserve heritage of outstanding universal value. So, any material manifestation which has both heritage as well as universal and outstanding value in both of cultural as well as educational as well as in scientific purposes, their aim is to protect that infrastructures especially. So there are 196 signatories as of October 2024 in the World Heritage Convention, and India became part in the year of 1977. So this is the introduction of the World Heritage Convention. So the World Heritage Convention recognizes sites which has its heritage importance and are having more universal value. So here in total there are 223 sites, and for cultural references there are 952, and for natural purposes, that is which includes ecosystem, biodiversity and so on, it includes 231 heritage sites, and mix of both, which is cultural as well as natural, it intakes 40 heritage sites. So here we can see few examples: Ajanta caves, Hampi, Humayun tombs, Sun Temple of Konark. So in India, initially Agra Fort, Taj Mahal, Ajanta and Ellora caves were become the first listed in 1983 for their importance of heritage and cultural preservance. So in India there are almost 43 sites, and latestly in 2024, moidums of Assam, that is the mount shaped structures of the Ahom dynasty in Assam, were taken into as the World Heritage Site recognized by the UNESCO. So the along with the addition of the moidums, there are 43 sites present in India, and 62 sites are on tentative list to be joined in the World Heritage Sites recognized by the UNESCO. So here you can see both of the details are given by the PIB. Now this is the map. Here you can see the elaborated listings of the 43 uh, World Heritage Sites present in India recognized by the UNESCO. Now let's look into the importance of World Heritage Sites. First is the recognition of the cultural identity. So including cultural identities such as the civilizations and the legacy and the stories and that have been followed through the years are recognized in those World Heritage Sites. So for example, we can take Ajanta and Ellora caves, where they were dating back to 2nd century BCE, which includes Buddhism, Jainism and Hinduism, and also it includes sculptures, paintings and rock cut temples. So where there is a holdage of legacy and civilization, it comes under cultural identity. And for education and research purposes, which includes biodiversity, sustainabilities and other ecosystems and habitats, and also boosting of tourism, where there is economic boosting, cultural exchange. For example, we can take Kaziranga National Park of Assam, where they are largely known for the higher population of the one-horned rhinoceros and their biodiversity. Next is having international cooperation, where different countries and different places are coming together in protection of their heritage. For example, we can take Kanchijunga of the Sikkim. And next is conservation is the main aim of the World Heritage Sites, for protection of not just the monuments but the stories along with it. So for example, we can take Sundarbans, one of the home for the Royal Bengal tiger, and they are known for their tidal and their salt resistant mangroves. So next is the final of environmental protection. So for example, we can take Western Ghats, which are known as one of the hottest hotspots among the 8 hottest hotspots. So through these important places, we can understand the importance of World Heritage Sites culturally, economically, socially, environmentally, and so on. Now, looking into few government initiatives here, first is the movements of monuments of national importance. So there are 300 more than 3,000 sites being recognized under our Archaeological Survey of India. Next is bringing in heritage and redevelopmental projects. For example, bringing in the redevelopment projects for Kashi Vishwanath corridor, Kamakya corridor in Assam, then having connectivity projects for the Chardham temples and their road projects. So you can see how many corridors are being recognized for their redevelopment projects, and retrial of antiques, where almost 600 in total and 642 have been discovered since 2014. And next is adopt a heritage scheme in 2017. So in recognition of the social corporate social responsibility funds being increased, there is monument development. So there is importance of both public as well as private partnership along with the CSR based monument development. So next is hosting of the 46th World Heritage Committee session. So here in Delhi, along with the Ministry of Culture and the ASI, which is the Archaeological Survey of India, in Delhi there has been successful conference regarding the World Heritage sites known as World Heritage Committee session. Next is the must see portal, where in digital website the ASI will be showcasing the must see places and key places or monuments of our country. Next is having digitalization efforts. So there is National Mission on Monuments and Antiques, which is the NMMA, where almost 12 lakh antiques and more than 11,000 heritage sites are present. Here, there is also importance for Indian heritage in digital space, that is the IHDS, where they bring in immersive digital heritage tools and digital presence. Next is acknowledging our classical languages, where in 2024, along with Assamese, Marathi, Pali, Prakrit, and Bengali, there are 11 classical language means recognized by the UNESCO. And next is Archaeological Experimental Museum in 2025, which was recently introduced in Vadnagar, where it features almost 2,500-year-old history. And next is literary recognition in 2024, where one of the three important literatures such as the Ramacharitmanas, Panchatantra, and Sandrodya Loka and Lokana were inscribed in the memory of World Committee for Asia and Pacific Regional Register. So here there is literary recognition also. So here not just monuments or inscriptions, but also importance of the stories and literatures of different communities and dynasties which was passed through all of our legacy and civilizations. So that's how important our World Heritage sites and their stories are. So this is the mains question. Discuss the significance of World Heritage Sites in preserving cultural legacy of India and evaluate the government's initiatives in this regard. So I ask the students to put in their answer in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you give a like, comment and share. And to further not to miss any other content, subscribe to our channel. Thank you and have a nice day.